It is when I travel back that I travel forward. When it travels forward, that it travels back. Flights out listening to what has been seen, said, about how they died in hospital, at home, on the floor, on beds, on streets, with help, without help. An unrecordable friend in my head, a scent, this book on death wrapped in white silk paper as to hide the big letters on the front.
All women. This is evil.
This is what? Play.
I'm
You play.
alive.
We play.
You're
This is
alive.
fun. I'm having
We're
fun.
alive.
We're having fun.
This is living.
I'm bored.
I live
You're
the
bored.
good life.
You're bored.
You live the
Life
good
is-
life.
And then this little village where suddenly all the houses became tall buildings and skyscrapers. And at the main junction on a flat grey wall and the right flashed these big other letters, the word masculine, in neon above a wooden door. And inside at the reception sat a smiling concierge who handed out school books and gave me a thistle, a silver one, saying, "It will be all right, of course it will." And outside, behind the window, on the other side of the room, had risen a hill with more houses. The village had changed, and in one of the houses a white one with shutters in a color between dark blue or grey, where father and I in bed, perhaps like friends, I can't say for sure. And two girls in school uniforms opened the shutters, pushed a hand through the mesh in front of the window ajar, ripping a gash from the top down to the bottom, and climbed in, saying they were freezing. Looking around and covering their mouth, they giggled. And then I had to wait endlessly in a hospital corridor to be allowed to see my friend, who from the door, when I couldn't see his eyes, had become an angular, condensed shape, folded long bones under a sheet, and there had been a strange light in his room that he couldn't see. And it took so long to wait that I painted my legs bright red and tried to walk down the corridor, but fell, because of this vertigo that sometimes comes over me in hospitals, and I thought to the comeback, a place for rent boys now, cut off by time and change. A first time, a second time, and to the old cemetery wall with those rows of large rectangular nails for dead friends. Some I knew, but can't find it anywhere, although I walked up and down the place. Perhaps all that it is the orderly angel with the severed and attached head, the clean pavement. The vertigo started once in a restaurant, after the starter, when an art dealer began to tell the story, and he couldn't know that the marks I made at the same time with large oil pastels on the tablecloth became what he said. A man about to die wanted to go to sleep, walking on the floor of his flat, but it was thin glass with deceptive cracks, and he fell and broke through the glass with his hip and bled motionless. And when I looked up, an old woman had opened a door and stood in the corridor and looked at my legs and said, "I can't clean the men's bedroom, you know what happened there, it's all contaminated," she said, and turned around, back through the door. To survive was something undetectable, that comes up again and again. Some other room with uncovered tables, uncovered walls, blanks and strands, white and black, orange, blue, to be child, to be tree.